thank you guys again for coming. Thank you to the Brownstone Institute for sponsoring this event. Our next speaker has appeared on Fox News, Tucker Carlson tonight. She's been on Fox Business. She's been on Newsmax, Timcast, John Stossel, the Joe Pags Show, to mention a few. She's been on Glenn Beck Radio. She was born in communist China under Mao's Cultural Revolution and escaped to the U.S. in 1988 to attend graduate school here. She ran for Colorado State House in 2014. She ran for the U.S. Senate in 2016. She was a candidate for the Republican U.S. House of Representatives. She was a Republican primary candidate for the U.S. House of Representatives this past year. She has her own business as an expert witness on China and as a professional speaker. She educates people about the horrors of communism and Marxism and socialism and warns about the infiltration of the CCP in the U.S. She's a fiery and passionate speaker, and she's a delight to listen to. It's Lily Tang Williams, everybody. Give her a round of applause.
Good morning, and I brought you some special trade. If you can pass around, it's there's a little Asian market in Manchester called Saigon, and this is our favorite coconut butter biscuits. So if you are hungry and this is not too sweet, go with your coffee, your tea, and so pass around, please. Finish them all because. Well, my husband's missing today because he sent me to a hotel last night. You better get out because in the morning we'll have 12 inches and we'll be stuck in where? And you have to speak at 9 a.m. So I came to Holiday Inn last night by myself. So now I don't have my husband here. Normally my husband, John Williams, is with me all the time. We've been married for 32 years, and he said, please take pictures, and he can see, what is missing here. So how many of you here are new movers? How many? Okay, good to see. How many of you are from out of state? Wow, even more. It's good. So I personally moved here 2019 with my husband after last daughter went to college. And mom, dad deserve second chance, second freedom choice. Then we choose a free state. But before I moved here, I came here 8 times to find out where to buy a house, and where's the best location, lowest taxes, and the state capital, and met with local people. And my realtor, Mark Warden, took me to State House, got the state constitution, and found out a lot about New Hampshire just in that first visit, 4 days. I was sold. I'm going to move here. But it took me 6 months to convince my husband. He was still working full time. And then my daughter freaking out. You're going to desert me? Even when I go to college, I won't have mom at home cooking me some Chinese food? Oh, she was freaking out. I said, well, we raised you to be independent. We're only one phone call away. And but I got to get out of Colorado. I saw that's coming. Colorado from purple state to completely blue state. And the Democrats just, I think, are trying to pass rent control there right now in Colorado. So even though we are real estate investors, we have property there, we still have family live there. It's just a good time to get out. 2019, a few months before the lockdown. But let me tell you, I thought liberty is going to die in the last 2 or 3 years. With the slippers, with the virus, with the stay-home orders. And I was so worried. There were no massive protests from our kind of people, from the Americans I had in mind when I moved to this country. Gave me, liberty or gave me death. The famous, Henry's speech. And the churches were shut down. And where are the churchgoers? Could not even pray outside. Okay, except this documentary I saw in California, that one was great. But I was so worried, where are our people? I had PTSD. I could not even sleep during a few months riots and burnings and lootings and violence. To go with COVID shutdown, to go with the shutdown schools and all their mandates. I really thought, I just moved to New Hampshire for freedom of a lifetime. was that still possible? So I decided, no matter what, I do whatever I can. So when I first moved here, I stick to my promise. I come here to use maximum efforts to advance liberty, create a free society. I did not come here to preach the choir and to live off the grades by myself, just be happy. And I come here immediately jump into local communities, because in order to advance liberty, I know we had to persuade others to believe what we believe. Otherwise, we are not going to be effective. We are going to lose New Hampshire. And I'm running out of places to move to. I can tell you right now. Yeah, you know what happened in China. My friends were locked down in their homes for 10 weeks in Shanghai. Wealthy, but no food. Wealthy, but could not get out of their apartment because there were barred iron doors in front of their gate. Could not even walk downstairs. Got the electricity, barbed wires on their steps. Imagine what kind of a total 1984 nightmare you could live in. So I came here, I think November of 2019. And I registered, go to DMV and get a live free or die license plate. I was so proud of that, even put on Facebook. And then I start to look for where I can be active. Somebody told me January 1st, there's a Hillsborough County Republican New Year's event. And I went there, thanks to my friend Tony Lekas told me to go there. I just show up there, 150 people. I only knew Tony. It's like my husband said, really, we don't know anybody. So people are people. Go say hi, introduce ourselves. It's Hillsborough County. And then from there, I start to meet people. And some people are still friends today. And then January, after that, I went to the first state GOP convention as observer. I wasn't even a member. Can I go? Of course you can go. Just observe. Wow, 500 something people there. Just observe, introduce myself, and the people look at me. Oh, you just moved here. Oh, just a couple months ago, you're here. Yeah. But of course, 2020, you know what happened. And 2020, that of course is election year, presidential election year. And I was looking for some places that I could really do something, get involved for the election year, get our candidates elected. And I discovered my town of where? Red town, Republican town, did not even have a Republican committee. Bernie Sanders sign, Black Lives Matter signs were in my neighborhood. I said, where's the committee? Oh, I was told it's dead. Do you want to volunteer to reboot it? I said, why not? I will reboot it. And I got authorized to be a chair. I recruit a vice chair, my neighbor, and start have a meeting in my house, in where? Every month. Because you could not even rent a place to have your meetings. COVID, remember? Everything is shut down, it's closed. So we ask people volunteer social distancing, volunteer to wear masks, and we start meeting in our house every month, and the 2020 of July. And then my first talk, my first Porcupine Fest, I dreamed for years and years to come. It was the first one in 2020. And we supposed to actually called, violating the orders, 700 people gathering in White Mountains. My daughter is freaking out again. You went to that many people. If you get sick, I will be upset. I said, relax. He said, you were outside with our mask. I said, well, fresh air is better. Why should I wear a mask outside? So people volunteer social distancing. So you can see why college kids, young people all bought into propaganda. And it's just unbelievable. She was in college, you remember? Even in Colorado Springs University. That was my first pork fest. And I remember, it's like, I feel great, but it's smaller, but I'm glad we gathered. If we would cancel pork fest in 2020, I think that's a very, very sad message to send out to all the liberty lovers, not just in U.S., but to the world. we could not master our fear. We bowed into rhetorics. We bowed down to the authoritarians. And how about my freedom, liberty? I came to this country for. So I went there, and since then I go to PorkFest every year, come to Liberty Forum every year. And after I rebooted the committee, get our elected Republican state representatives elected with everybody's help, like big teamwork. And later, I even run myself as a supervisor of checklist. And I was elected, actually, 2021. And and I was attacked. Oh my God, she's a free stater. I'm a walking virus. I'm a danger to the people of New Hampshire because I love freedom so much. And they even don't understand. Those progressive activists, they don't understand what freedom is about. Because they ask me, a communism survivor, what freedom you want? Oh my God, is that a sad question? What freedom do I want? All of it. To live my life. Freedom speech, whatever you know, everything, but they don't understand. I would love to have a public meeting in the library to say, hey, all the progressive activists, please come to have a conversation with me and even debate me. Instead of attacking me on Facebook, on Twitter, I got lots of trolls. And somebody recently just told me, you're not a communism survivor. A real communist society never existed. That's not real communism. I was trolled by Socialist Party, Communist Party, all those young people, and Marxist professor looked like Karl Marx in his picture. He got 50,000 followers. I have 25,000. And I'm sure lots of people follow him are young people. So I'm trying to keep them engaged. I don't respond. So politics require you have very thick skin. So don't worry, just smile. See I feel your pain, You're miseducated. And so I got elected regardless the attack because I never engaged on on social media with the left. I just speak to people directly in the middle. 41% independent voters, remember, in New Hampshire. You speak people in the middle. Of course, I don't have to spend lots of time to preach to the choir. I need one over the middle. And just tell them, and you have to own it. Yes, I'm free stater. Yes, I'm a Republican Tang chair running for supervisor checklist. Here's my qualifications. Here's my understanding of duties. I'm asking for your vote. I'm asking for your support. And actually, one of those people on the left did me a great favor. They put up my picture with AR-15 put on Facebook. And where people saw it, now we like her even better. A Second Amendment, staunch supporter. And 2021, also, I saw people were so socially isolated. And they really feel afraid. I went to a restaurant, saw a whole bunch of 6 or 7 old ladies wear red hats and beautiful, having fun. First time come out after 1 year lockdown. I said, who are you? I said, we are Red Hat Society. We just have women together once a month, have fun, make friends. I said, that's a good idea. So I created social media group, private group in my town of Ware called Wear Pink. It's play on words. Wear pink, pink hat, red hat, look pretty and have fun. Number 1 rule, no politics. We just focus on friendship building. So I founded that group. Aging American, founded a group in extremely white town. I have 92 members today. Once a month, we go have lunch or dinner, or we do potluck in the summer at my house, teach them how to cook Chinese food. And people come here, we just talk about fun stuff. Doesn't matter. I was running for Congress. I never talk about it unless they ask me privately. We talk about fun stuff and support each other. Because some people are brand new movers. They're old, they're retired, they live alone, they're widowed. We need to do something for each other. And nothing is about every day we have to talk about politics. No, you don't. But even when you're not talking about politics, you are doing politics. Just remember that. You're doing whatever is effective to get people to know you, to understand you, and to like you, and then to listen to you indirectly, your messages. That's very effective. When I ran for Congress last year, in the primary, I won 2-1 against 2 other primary opponents in my town of Ware. 2-1 because people know me. People know I'm not a crazy nut job. I'm not walking virus, threat to their freedom. I'm just like a little Chinese lady who is caring, who is honest, who is authentic. If I can win people over like that in the state of New Hampshire or in CD2, I don't care what left is going to attack me. What do you have, Bernard? What do you have against me? Just by association? Because FSP? Or maybe because of some other, a few people's rhetorics, behaviors I don't approve. I even don't know who they are. We have 6,000 of us here. How many do I know? I really don't know who is who. I mean, of course, people come here, we show faces, but most people don't show up. I don't know who they are, but they're everywhere. So I say, you cannot paint me just like I belong to some nonprofit and I'm a threat to you. You never met me, you never talked to me, you never debate me. But of course, you don't engage in that. So that's one group. Another group I founded, 2021, I saw threat of critical race theory. I saw threat of identity politics, just like Mao's Cultural Revolution, basically divided people into groups to fight each other, to hate each other, to divide it up, and it's distraction, and they're going to take over our institutions, take over our business, and take over our government agencies. Those are commies, whatever you call it, authoritarians, globalists, whoever they are. They're going to divide us and let us hate. If we are united as American people, as just human beings, there's nothing can destroy us unless we buy into that politics, the rhetorics, and media stuff. So I was encouraged, and I get to know my sister, Vietnamese immigrant also, and Chow Kelly. And you probably know her. She goes everywhere. She's she's really, people get us confused all the time. I said, that's my sister, okay? They thought she was running from Congress. It's not Lily Tang. And she said, no, that's Lily Tang. So we founded New Hampshire Asian American Coalition. We have 3%, second largest minority in our state. It's called Asian Americans. Lots of them are not political, and lots of them don't understand politics, and they still vote for Democrats. So we said, hey, since critical race theory is going to make white people very silenced, because you say anything, you are racist. You are racist. You are white male. Oh, you are really bad. You're oppressor. So it's better for minorities to organize to come out to defend our new country, to defend our people. How could you demonize more than 50% of the population in the country and more than 90% of the state population? And most of the people who are racist, even call me racist, extremist, are the white liberals. Are they racist? Or they call them whatever they can want to identify. But how can you focus on people's skin color, race all the time? They're obsessed with it. And they call themselves anti-racist. And they are the racists, real racist. But they tell me otherwise, right? So when I go testify in the Concord state capitol, my first bill when I testified was like January, when I just come here. And since I used to testify in Colorado as a new citizen there, I'm used to testify. 2-3 minutes give you best shots. And I never have papers in front of me. And nobody even asks me questions when I testify. Not many questions. And even though the other side come to testify with papers, with notes, with students, organized by some teacher unions, but they don't have questions for me. So it's kind of funny. And so that's why I think if I really debate them face to face, it would be really fun. And I'm a challenging. I said, all the Marxist professor in New Hampshire can debate me. I will get some immigrants to come with me. So you have real immigrants who have living experience debate Marxist professors. How is that? I make national news, right? and get more trolls. That's okay. So now I am chair of that organization, and we are actually seriously registered with Secretary of State as a nonpartisan social and civics organization. So you might see us have rallies. When we had to stop, CRT indoctrination rally, we had 250 people show up. And too bad, NPR did not show up. And but they went to another one. 25 people showed up called Stop Aging Hate. Yeah, so that's okay. I found out New Hampshire people actually mostly are quite nice, except extremely very loud, call themselves progressive activists who want to demonize us entire project. You are just all guilty by association. Our crime is like, oh my God, we want to actually cut some government power and love liberty so much. And so I will say, if you want to come here, advance liberty, it's have each other, have mentors, have people who've been here for a long time, pick their brain, give you suggestions where to involve locally. That's best. So if you come to or come to nearby area and you want to, contact me, I'm on Twitter, on social media, Facebook. Facebook shadow banned me so bad, but I have never given up. It's just when I post something about Chinese cooking, I get 1,000 likes. I have 25,000 followers. When I post something political, including my campaign endorsement, I got 10 likes. Is that obvious? Is that obvious? And there are lots of employees inside of China too. Oh, they absolutely hate me. Anything I post about #CCP, you don't get many likes. So I'm on Instagram. I have my own YouTube. I just started my own weekly Sunday show this January. I never feel like I have done enough for liberty and enough to save this country. So I started Immigrants Speak every week. So Lily Tang Williams on YouTube, because I said that my voice alone is not good enough to persuade people, wake up people. Because they even tell me, I don't know what the socialism, communism is about. We should send them to China for just go in the countryside, maybe trying to survive. And also that other immigrants will feel the same way like me. We need to get them all together. So that's what we did. So now I have, so right now I don't have current title much. I'm just chair of New Hampshire Asian American Coalition. Hispanic is 4%, which is largest minority. We are 3%, black 2%. So you have 9%. 9% of New Hampshire population can make a huge impact in any elections. Okay, so that, and of course I'm still a community organizer. We have a ladies group, and I just joined International Lions Club, my first charity organization. Just in January, I just had a meeting last week and went to their conference. That was great. So I'm going to Henniker to meet with people, say hi and show my face and make friends and do service, do actual service. That's the best way to persuade people. We are not hateful. We are not selfish. We are compassionate. We want to do charity voluntarily instead of everything is government do some. Government. That's what I used to think when I first came here. Took me 20 years to wake up. Government is not the solution at all. And that's when I become libertarian in my heart. So, and that's my quick story about how I got involved and basically nonstop since I moved here 2019 to do community organizing. And I published 4 opinion pieces by the union leader, include recent one, Happy Valentine's Day, and the one in Concord Monitor. I contribute to Granny Grok. I'm going to do. So you can write if that's your talent. You can run for office, become a community organizer if you like people and you're likable. So you're not like extremely introverted, man of a few words. So there's so many things you can do locally. And you can have a farm, you can have a school. There's so much we can do. Number one goal is to effectively really to advance liberty and without persuade other people to join us, we are the minority. We're not going to win. That's a period. And of course, whenever you can go on YouTube, big YouTuber like Tim Cass, I was there 3 times, that really helps, right? So you get your message out. So I would like to, for people who have questions for me, and lined up here, and there's a mic. They want you to use a mic so they can record your questions, and that would be awesome. So my website is lilytangwilliams.com, and I will only get more active and more louder in our state and in the whole country politics, because I see right now lots of urgencies, and for me, for my voices in the country. Yes, sir.
Thank you, Ms. Williams. Have you ever ran into people who came from where you came, yet when they get here, they seem to want to recreate what they had over there? And if so, how did you deal with it?
Then let me tell you, there are about 5 million Chinese Americans in this country. I would say people like me who are awake, who are leaning even more conservative, libertarian-minded, and active in politics. I was told about 100,000. And lots of them, including lots of them in New York, most of them live in New York, in big blue states and cities. They have not waking up. And some have in California because their students, their kids got dumped down in their education. That's when they start to say, what hell? We value education, and now honor classes are canceled, and I'm supposed to be oppressed. I'm supposed to be victim, and my kids supposed to be, just sitting there and not advanced academically. So that's why, because lots of Chinese rich Americans in San Francisco, they got involved in politics. They wake up, they throw out their whole set of school board members in San Francisco. That was great. So we'll continue to do that. I have a Mandarin Chinese YouTube channel too. I'm trying to teach people, educate people about American political system, about Constitution, about the Declaration of Independence, and even about party. They voted Democrats, like, why? Oh, because this, or that. I said, do you know their policy difference? I said, I'm not partisan. I don't tell you which party you should join. But do you understand the policy difference? You're voting for your own oppression. You're voting to take your American dream away. And you're paying for the stuff. They just think their Democrats are friendly toward immigrants. But that's even, that's like on the surface, yes. But you have to look at the policies. So I'm trying to do that. I'm going to California in June. I have a big event there. So I'm hoping, more people will come. Thank you. Yes.
Hello. I just wanted to ask, what do you think I can say to my younger friends who believe things like that communism is the right way to go and capitalism is evil?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think when they say that, don't get mad, okay? When people are young, that's what they were taught. That's one thing. As people like us who love freedom and want to reduce government, we have failed. We have given up the classrooms. We have given up lots of social media platforms. It's all left. 90% left indoctrination, okay? And so it's good just to ask questions and give them an example. You like your iPhone? Yes. Didn't somebody force you to buy it? No. You volunteered to buy it. You like it. Do you want to give up because the capitalism is bad and the profit is bad? Apple is making lots of profits by sending you the iPhone you volunteered to buy, and I think lots of people fundamentally just don't understand economics. In such as a book, Economics 101, I had to read all that to get rid of my indoctrination from China. If you understand fundamentals of economics, how free market works, then you start to discover, other solutions are a lot better than government force. See, lots of young people don't understand what is the consequences of government laws and government force. It's you go to jail, you go get fined, you lose your business license, and you cannot get certain jobs, and you lose your free speech. They don't understand any of that. It's a virtue signaling because they bought into that, and they don't discover the true meanings in life. It's individual rights and liberty. And also tell them to start follow Lily Tang Williams. Yeah. There's some self-promotion here. I have lots of YouTubes designed to talk to young people, sometimes just 2 minutes, to say, hey, how little we ate? We had to eat red meat to survive under Mao. 40 million people starving to death. You tell me that communism is not real? They don't know the history. They were not taught the real history. And New Hampshire is trying to still repeal the free education account and repeal the divisive concept bill. And because they said, oh, no, we're afraid of teaching real history. No, you're not. I'm living history. How about I go to your school, teach real history? Well, they don't let me in. They don't call me. So it's not about teaching real history. It's about their version of history. It's to indoctrinate children with their agendas. That's just the way it is. Yes, sir.
I think it's obvious to a lot of people here that the CCP and the PLA have kind of infiltrated our country for the last, I don't know, from me, it's from the 90s, with unrestricted warfare and infiltrating all the colleges and stuff. When do we have to say, and this is kind of in the news, where the government's going to kind of step in, they're going to ban TikTok. So I'm just curious of as a libertarian, when do we accept the government to do something?
Well, of course that, educate people, educate the masses, and the people just cancel TikTok themselves, and that'd be great. That'd be great. I wish I would have a magic pen to do that. But at the same time, the government have banned TikTok from government devices, which is a good thing, because there's no true private company in China. Remember that. There's no true private free market, all controlled by CCP. I will not even call China a communist country today. It's a fascist country. They allow you to have some your enterprise, your private property, but they can take away overnight. Look at Jack Ma, disappeared. He should be a lesson for all the globalist billionaires who want to adopt China CCP's tactics to say, I don't know who's going to cancel who at the end. The TikTok, all the users' data on your phone is accessible, is at risk, and have to turn over to Chinese government if they want to use it. Of course, you're hoping, they just don't get it. But that includes your financial apps, your passwords, and your Tinder dating app, and who you want to, everything is going to be at risk. I never downloaded TikTok. I had to use WeChat. That's why I have 2 phones. One is with WeChat on it. One is my regular phone. Because use WeChat, that's the only way I'm going to talk to my Chinese relatives. And I don't talk about politics. Remember, if anybody is afraid to even speak up, I tell people, I'm taking personal risk to speak up right now against CCP. Because I have lots of family relatives in China. I'm on blacklist, cannot go to China to visit my families and friends. Since 2019, I was warned, threatened 2019. Last time I was in China, 2015. I have a relative who is dying right now in the hospital. I cannot go. So you know why? Because I have a dozen of them threat me, and that's some risk I have to manage with. So talk about you have convictions, you have values, but if you don't act on it, you're not willing to take personal risk, your time will come if it's not now. But on my time, it's I can no longer to worry about those things. I just want my family, my family in the U.S. Be careful, mind your privacy. But me, I'm a public figure. I'm standing on a tall building without my pants on. Everybody can shoot me. That's fine. That's something I come to peace with myself. So if I do run for office, I need you. Lots of people support me because look what I'm giving up to advance liberty, to get my messages out. I even don't care what could happen to myself. I still love my children, my family, but you know what? Just like our founding fathers, what did they give up to create the, United States of America, to have a Declaration of Independence? That's something, I made a peace with myself.
Thank you. We know several people here in this country that freedom-loving people that have found themselves limited by our social media, such as Facebook or or YouTube. In your work and your casting your message as far and wide as you're able to, have you ever sensed that you have been limited in any way by some of the American social media that you've been able to use?
Yes, fascist book. That's the one that I'm limited the most. At the beginning, Twitter also, but now my Twitter followers have passed. Since Elon Musk bought Twitter, it has passed. But sometimes I still feel like there's an invisible eyes watching me. I don't know. It just I want to take my message to the entire world, and so I'm hoping grow my Twitter and Lily for Liberty, and I think I'm not worried about if just pure private company themselves censor me. Okay, if we have free market competition, we have other platform can go to. What I'm worried about terribly, it's called the Twitter files. The evidence show that our federal government, 3 letter agencies, all go after private companies and pressure them to censor dissident voices. And I even have a Republican in this state to say, Lily, we're not China. Yeah, it's like, I don't believe that. We're not become China. I mean, but she did not have a conversation with me at deeper level. Weaponize federal agencies to go after constitutional rights of citizens. And disinformation board could be funded, existed, like a Ministry of Truth. And there's a whole bunch I can list so many things that the Western countries and the United States are adopting CCP's tactics. Why are we talking about equity every day? Equity, DEI. We have a national equity project coming to where? To give a talk about equity to public event. Who is funding that? Equity, I keep saying people. That's the term I heard growing up under Mao. Equity, equal outcome. It's a communist term, ideology, and we are promoting it every day, proudly, everywhere. And you tell me we're not going down that path? And the vaccine passport, remember? Mandatory vaccine and tracking, mandates of mask, school shutdown, all their tactics. And not even talking about that rewrite history, demonize America as a racist country since 1619 project. And I follow that lady too, and tell me that I don't understand racism because, I don't understand American history. And the Democrats in Virginia just call out like this bill to mandatory evil of communism education funded by taxpayers since we're funding other things. And they said it's racist to actually mandate that education. Are you kidding me? How many Asians died under communism? Most of them are Asians when you combine Cambodia, Vietnam, North Korea, China. And who is racist here by not teaching that part of history? So our deaths, our victims don't matter. So this is social media. Whenever I talk about stuff like that, I don't get lots of likes, okay? And it's frustrating. That's why I have been also on the speaker bureau called Victim of Communism Memorial Foundation. I go to middle schools, high schools, colleges, sometimes grassroots organizations like this to give talks with the sponsors' help because I have expenses and I have a minimum fee. And I've been doing that for past 5 years. It just shocks me how ignorant our kids, even our teachers are about communism. Totally ignorant. I was like, we didn't know that happened under Mao's Cultural Revolution, all the details. It's like, what are you learning in teachers' colleges? 90% left professors. And why are they our kids today? For 2 generations, demonize profits. Whenever I mention about profit, capitalism, that's so bad. So bad. No, that's what they told us in Mao's China. Demonize America, demonize capitalism. If you're capitalist, you go straight to black class and you go to locked up and to labor camps. And today, our kids, the majority, demonize free market capitalism. They don't even understand what are the terms they're using. Or they say, well, we're not communist country. We're not pursuing communism. We're pursuing democratic socialism. That's the new words. Imagine I debate the LC from floor of U.S. Congress. That would be really awesome, actually. And maybe I gave her my 2 cents, Yeah, that was a great question. So that, anyway, you are not canceled unless you cancel yourself. Remember that. I will never be canceled. Look at me. I will never be silenced. Yes.
I have a quick question. In the previous election, you ran on the Republican ticket.
Yeah.
Of course, with libertarian spirit. But I'm wondering, in the state of New Hampshire, can free state-minded people in New Hampshire rely on the GOP to help further the libertarian cause, or are we really going to have to make a big split to, protect our freedom in this state?
Well, I have tried run twice in Colorado as libertarian, as a third-party candidate. I'm telling you, not effective, okay? And I work my butt off just like I did last time here. Here, I got a whopping 25%. I'll spend 5-1, 2-1. As a newcomer, 25%. I worked my butt off in Colorado 2016 with volunteer help, with $20,000 donations. I got 3.6%. So did I get a national media 2016? No. Did I get a national media last year? Yes, everywhere. I'm still doing interviews everywhere. Republican Party in New Hampshire, no party is perfect. No groups are perfect, including our own nonprofit group. I'm just telling you the truth. You like it or not. No groups can be perfect. No humans can be perfect. But you do your math, and you say, what is more effective? What is more effective? And I found out actually GOP here is probably one of the most libertarian-leaning GOP compared even with Colorado. And there's no way I could even get into primary or win the primary in Colorado, even as a GOP. You have to do all this. They have caucus system instead of a committee here, which is different. So I'm always calling for unity, but I'm also calling for individual respect. If you insist your way is gonna work better, I respect that. I'm not gonna, force people or attacking you for not doing my way. I have found out lots of libertarians are not very tolerant of each other. If you cannot even tolerate each other, you're not gonna tolerate people who disagree with you. Then what is the difference between you and the left progressives? No. So we focus on our message, effectively advance liberty, and we want to be united. If you individual libertarian members have different opinions, that's okay. That's okay. His time will come. You're trying to persuade that guy. Some are younger people too, and they're very pure, call themselves pure libertarians, but that's okay. We can have conversations. So I'm too busy to do outside my activism, outside the group. I just don't have time to have an infight. So I respect all you guys' choices. That's the best way, but I choose the way I think is the most effective for me to keep our freedom. Yes.
So you're from where? That's near Peterborough?
Yes.
Okay. Are you familiar with the Peterborough co-housing community?
Co-housing?
Co-housing. Is that what it's called? Okay. Okay. I was
No,
asking what your
no.
opinion of them. Is there like if your opinion of that group?
Is that cooperative or what?
Yeah, it's kind of a cooperative living group. I didn't know if you were familiar with them.
Yeah, but I'm always open-minded. Tell me about it and connect with me later. I have a business card on social media because I want to learn everything about New Hampshire.
Oh, okay.
And I want to learn everything I need to learn. I hate to be kept in the dark. So my husband thinks that I'm addicted to politics. I said, no. I said, I'm addicted to liberty. I cannot be silenced and quiet. If there's some truth going on, I need to know about it. So please, I want to talk to you about that because that's in my backyard or something, right? Yeah. Yes.
A great follow-up question, too. So do you believe, will you continue running for political office, or is there a point where you realize that you've gained enough recognition where you're more effective not being politically active anymore?
It's a possibility. Running for political office, it becomes my accidental choice. I feel like that's the only way I can get my messages out, but I could not even get into debate in the past. So how good is that, right? So most likely, I am actually think about to run for U.S. House 2024. I want to build my 25% momentum. Lots of independents actually voted for me in New Hampshire last time in City 2, and I never had a chance to debate Ann Custer, my congresswoman. I would love to be nominated just one time and debate her. If she doesn't want to debate me, or she has to, at least WMUR, NPR, you know, and maybe I can have a chair next to me and talk to her, and then we have some things to figure out, but I need everybody's help. I need the national help, libertarian-minded people, and the Republicans and the conservatives, everybody who's anti-CCP, who don't want us to become a totalitarian country, need to support me. And guess how many people in the U.S. House who speak Mandarin as a first language? 0. Who understand CCP? 0. And there's a China Oversight Committee. There's lots of committees that can serve foreign affairs. And I can, really provide invaluable insight and cultural expert, because that's my business. I can go to court, testify on China issues. Why can't I serve the country by be on the committee, represent our people here? But of course, that's not the goal. The goal is not Lily Tang Williams winning some political office, okay? The goal is a free country. It's our liberty. But I'm warning you, time is running out. It's running out. If you see all kinds of stuff going on, not just in our country, but in other Western countries. So I feel the urgency. I'm super busy because I do whatever I can every day to tell people about it. I have urgency. We're losing this country. Please join me. Please stop this neo-Marxist cultural revolution happening in our country right now. Yes.
So I don't actually have a question. I just want to thank you for all you do. Thank you.
Oh, it's my pleasure. It's my pleasure. And be honest with you, really, I'm also doing this for myself and for my kids, for their American dream. There's no place to go. And even though you have a Liberland, you have some other areas, I'm telling you, I have traveled the world since I left. I'm blessed in this country. Think about it. If I come here with $100, cannot speak English, and I was in the hole for $1,200 in debt at the age of 24, almost 24. Now I have 3 home business, and I'm living American dream. I have financial freedom to do what I do. I'm not going to be worried about my job, my career, and bring food to the table. I'm so blessed in this country. And tell me another country I can go to where I humbly started in life to talk about liberty, to run for U.S. Congress? No place in the world. That's why I'm the best one to go to debate another side. Love this country, appreciate our values, our history. We are not perfect. That's why we need to have a conversations, be nice together. But if they let this take over, this kind of ideology take over our society, our young people today are all going to be Marxist, socialist, and voting that way, what done? That you really come down to your Second Amendment. But I prefer not. We still have free speech. We still have our institutions. So we're going to continue fight, advance liberty with our messages, with our words, with our actions. Thank you very much to have me. Oh, you have last one? Yes.
Yeah, one more question. I want to thank you again, too. But I think all of us should be aware that, whoops. How do I do this? Okay.
Yeah.
I think all of us in the room should be aware that our food has been manipulated for many, many decades. And there has been a book, and it's called The Slow Poisoning of America, written by John Erb, E-R-B. He's a Canadian researcher, and after his research, he went to the Canadian government and said, look at what's going on with our food, meaning that they've been adding additives and chemical, artificial sweeteners and everything to our food. And I'm, as you are, why are so many people so indifferent to what is going on? And I certainly contributed to the food, the processed food, the restaurant food, and this has been going on for decades, and I truly feel this is a contributing agent to why there's so much indifference to what is going
Well,
on in our country.
thank you for your question. I think that is
And the book, I truly encourage you to get the book. We're talking about MSG and all these
Yeah.
artificial
So
sweeteners.
thank you very much, and I have stopped now, as told, but I appreciate it. We can hang out. I'm going to stay here today, whole day. I think my husband have to have lots of plow to do. So please, LilyTangWilliams.com, and you go there. You can see my Twitter feeds every day on the homepage. Thank you.
Thank you, Lily. Great job. Thank you, everybody. Another round of applause for Lily Tang Williams. Great speaker. I always feel like when I'm in the audience, I always feel like she's speaking like right into my soul. So we have about 2 or 3 minutes until our next speaker. I would like to let you all know the other room across the hall, the marquee room, is now going to be active for the rest of the day as well. Right now we have Jim Forsyth. I think he's speaking on free markets and capitalism next, so that'll be across the exhibitors hall. And then in a couple minutes we'll have our next speaker here. Let me make sure we're all set. Yeah, 2 minutes.